is a long list of warnings. If warnings offend you, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains adult themes. If you're not an adult, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains a lot of offensive language and may contain graphic content. If you are a Karen, do not watch this show. Warning, this show may contain shabby impersonations of celebrities. If you are a celebrity, represent one, or think this is unfair, do not watch this show. Warning, this show may contain what could be seen as controversial and subversive ideas and opinions. If you can't handle differing opinions, do not watch this show. Warning, this show actively shows the consumption of tobacco, cannabis, and alcohol. If this offends you, do not watch this show. Warning, this show may discuss topics including, but not limited to, those in the realm of politics and conspiracy theories in a politically incorrect format. If these topics offend you or make you uneasy, do not watch this show. Warning, the producers of this show will do almost anything for a laugh. If comedy or extreme comedic premises offend you, please do not watch this show. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the producers, affiliates, hosts, ISPs, streaming platforms, advertisers, partners, or alike.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location inside the beautiful land of the Blackfoot Confederacy and Treaty 7 territory, Big Nate Productions presents Getting Laid with Nate.
Yeehaw, stick it in your grandma. It's Friday night. How's everybody doing? Hope it's going well for you. Good to see the chat's all lit up. Thanks for hanging out on Friday night. Coming up, we got my buddy Nate Bourgeault. I call him Jordan at the end for some reason because that's his brother's name. But he comes on. He's like a double header on this one. We talk about his band, Illuminated Minerva, and the new stuff they're putting out, and play a video, and then we end up doing Conspiracy Corner. But right now, we're going to do it again. I mean, fuck. We got to call Tom Green, right? 1-510-925-1565. That's happened about half the times. 1-323-822-5300. Call him if you want. He encourages it. Oh, it's ringing. Bacon Viper's a big Tom Green fan. Can somebody let me know if the YouTube's working? I don't think it is today. Should be on D Live, though. Come on, Tom. God damn it.
This mailbox is not currently accepting messages because...
Brutes McGoots. All right, well. I don't know. He hasn't been live when he's had the phone on lately. I missed another one the other day. But with that being said, next, we're going to keep it cheap with my buddy Danny. I really want to thank Danny Vacon for letting me roll all this content. I think he's running out. He's got to start making more. But this is all about reminiscing.
So now I guess we can't do the rock until after summer. What are you gonna do, man? I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told my landlord. Sleeping with people for money is bad, man. It's bad. Never knew we were poor when I was broke until I went over to a pal's house and found out that cereal comes in box size sometimes. We only have one size of cereal. It was garbage bag size. It was so big, we could only fit it underneath the sink. For other people, you know, you might get a prize in the bottom of your cereal. These bags, they came with a VHS copy of Police Academy. And then we had powdered milk. We used to add water to it. I think it's illegal to be that broke these days. It's probably why I got these old granny bones. My friends had, they were drinking stuff like Dr. Pepper, and we drank Dr. Skipper. And you guys would be wearing Converse All-Stars. I had Walmart Spider Stars. They look just the same, except no stars, little spider. I found out rich people eat little tiny food. I did, you know, little tiny food that looks all pretty on the plate, because see, you eat with your eyes, they say, you know. But Ma would make like a cauldron of stew, you know, with meatballs the size of your fist. You cut up carrots, like just full giant carrots into like threes, you know, look like spray tan Jenga blocks. Look like little orange support beams for a tiny skyscraper, you know. Look like some kind of novelty Halloween Twix bars. So I grew up in these government subsidized housing. So there's poor kids everywhere, all new Canadians and all that. And I was driving my bike around one day, and this group of kids said, "Hey, give me your bike." I said, "No, you can't have my bike." But I was wrong, they could have my bike. One kid pushed me down, another kid grabbed my ride and took off. And these other two kids were kicking me, and kicking me, and kicking me. I remember I look up from the cement, and it's like a goddamn Benetton ad. There's all these kids of different races working together. Fucking hated it at the time, but when I think now, this is kind of beautiful. See, I was what they call chubby broke. So I'd get my lunch, I'd walk to school, I'd eat my lunch on the way to school. At lunchtime in the cafeteria, there'd be this special box for the poor kids or something. If you didn't want to eat your sandwich or something, you just go pour it in the box. So me and my big friend Jeff would just get these two chairs, and we'd set them up on either side of this free box, and man, we ate good. But you don't pass up snack opportunities when you're broke, man. That's why poor people are big, because like, you find them out at the buffets, and so you don't see rich people with, you know, 10-gallon bucket of mac and cheese. You got to take advantage of these snack opportunities, because tomorrow's sandwiches are not promised. See, Ma, she tried her best though, you know. I had almost everything everyone else did. It's like all the other kids, they had remote control cars. Man, I'd see them rip around the parking lot. I was like, "Man, I want a remote control car." So I got one. Except mine was attached to this cord still, maybe like 5 feet of cord, so you had to go rip running around behind it. Got my wind up though. The same thing with my mom's personal massager. I know, because she had to run an extension cord into my room. I think because she didn't want to unplug her alarm clock, you know, because then she'd have to get up in the middle of the night and go check the time on the stove. So I think we got this time we need to reflect on how broke we used to be, man. I used to have $0. Zero. And my mom was the government. And for a couple of years, I had to sleep in the same bed as the government, like a couple of weird Charlie buckets. And don't forget that the best things in life are free. Free! And contagious and forbidden. Damn it! Keep it cheap.
Oh man, thanks again to Danny Vacon for letting me play those. He's a goddamn national treasure, that guy, I'll tell you. I'm pretty sure you probably played all that guitar behind it too, why wouldn't he? Okay, so yeah, now I got, well, you'll see. I got to sit down with my buddy Jordan. It was awesome. Hi everybody, we're back. And I'm here with my friend Nate Bourgeault. How's it going?
Good, my man. How are you doing?
Good. You put out a new album recently, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It's our second album, probably our first full length. Our first one was an EP, 3-song EP. This one is a 5-song, and I think it almost touches an hour, maybe a little less. I'm not too sure, actually.
What's it called?
It's called Enigma Adamantine, and kind of just means, I don't know, maybe like the unsolvable riddle, or, you know, the unpenetrable puzzle. I don't know. You know, it sort of describes what the album's about, like UFOs and abductions and things that we have a little glimpse of, but obviously don't get the full picture of, you know?
Sure, yeah. Until recently.
Yeah, right, yeah. and then try to use, like, you know, older audio clips and stuff like that to fill up space and give, you know, some dimension and a vibe to it, you know? I've always liked that sort of audio clips and music for some reason, you know?
Yeah, apparently more than a singer.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, you take a big risk with a singer, man. He may, you know, nail it, not nail it. You may be the greatest band, but your singer sucks, dude. You suck, you know what I mean? So
interesting strategy.
Yeah, just bypass that. You don't want to hear me sing, so we'll just layer some audio clips in there.
So is that what a lot in this... Well, we're going to listen to a song in a sec, Sightings, off of Enigma Adamantine.
Yeah, dude, just too many big words. Let's just keep it going.
I agree. But this, I noticed there are some samples in this, and what these samples in this song in particular are like?
Yeah, this one has, like, you know, the original radio broadcast sound, which I think is so dope with the da-da-da-da, you know. I think that's a really important piece of it. It calls back to the time, you know, people, when they heard that, they listened to that. So, and it just sort of has that. It has, you know, other people's experience layered in there to kind of show, like, how much of it is going on, trying to reflect that a little bit, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. UFOs are the best. That's all I can say.
Nice. No, I dig. Right on. Well, everybody check this out. Sightings by Illuminated Minerva. We'll be right back.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Diameter of about 20 to 25 feet. And that nothing in the appearance of structure indicated any capacity for food, and that there was no evidence of a power plant. In the meantime, General Rainey described the object as being of flimsy construction. almost like a box knife. And he described it as being made of some sort of thin film. The disc also appears too closely to carry a miss. The disc has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection.
All right, that was Sightings off the album
Enigma Adamantine,
which is coming out when?
September 25th.
September 25th. Cool. So this is just a little teaser for the rest of the EP.
That's right.
Awesome.
I think we're gonna have like 3 singles, I think, leading up to the release. So more coming soon for sure, you know.
Like you guys did this video pretty much all on your own, assisted by a friend, right?
Yeah, with our buddy Neville Palmer, who had all the sweet gear to help us get it done, you know.
Very, very cool. Can you describe the process? Was it a 1-day shoot, 2-day thing? Or?
Yeah, we just went out to a little storage unit outside of Calgary, and we set up just a simple light rig, and Neville had all the dope stuff. I don't know the names for all the sweet things, but the sort of stretched out effect is called like a lens baby, and we tried to maximize that. I don't know. I like comic books and drawing, so storytelling and stuff like that is fun. So Jordan and I got together and we sort of thought about what kind of shots we should have, and how it should have a little bit of a story too. Just not us just shredding away, but have a storyline too.
Yeah, very cool. Jordan Bourgeault, your brother, has been on the podcast or on the show. Sorry, this is not a podcast; it's a late night show.
That was a long time ago when we were both on there.
Oh yeah, you were both on the podcast too. That's right. Yeah, way long ago.
You and I went off. Jordan was super bored.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think that does hold the record for the longest one I ever actually put out.
We were going. It was good.
Yeah. But people may remember Jordan came on recently with his with the Jabo airbrush with the video he did, the Mortal Kombat shoes.
Yeah, man.
That's so intense. So
It's
you
crazy.
and him were working together on this video, is what you were saying, right?
Yeah. Like we're both artsy, man. So we didn't know really what we were going to do. We just went in there and tried things out. You know, I was like, let's try slowing down, and you know, and then Jordan was like, let's try swelling everybody back and forth. You know, and then I had an idea of like wanting to really put in old UFO redacted documents and, you know, photos that I think are pretty legit. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, get it all in there, man. It's kind of perfect timing with all the UFO stuff coming out, and that was not intentional, but definitely helps, you know.
Right, and I think that might come up in our next segment.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Tell me about the record. Did you guys record that as well?
Yeah, so we recorded that with Alan Sasha Laskow, you know, Calgary fame.
Yeah.
Perfect Filth. Studios.
Is it Perfect Filth? Because I had another. I thought it was
Filth.
Perfect Fifth. Have I been reading this wrong for the last 10
how
years?
Clever it is, man. Yeah, Perfect Filth. Blech.
Holy shit! Well, I apologize to
Sasha.
I apologize to Sasha.
Yeah, so we did that at his place. I think we recorded drums in a little studio they had, and then we did guitars and bass at Sasha's place. And he's just, you know, like him and I we're all friends, but him and I are really good friends, you know. So and he gets like the vibe that I want out of an album. Like I don't really want a super produced album or something. I'm not against anything like that. It's just like something a little more raw, like our live show, you know, which it's like ear candy to give it a little bit extra, and you know, let Sasha do his thing. Like I'm not opposed to letting a guy do his thing, you know. Like I think bands are too often are like, can you do this and change it like that, and like he's the audio engineer, let that guy do his thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're paying him, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, and he's good with us too. Like he lets us do our own thing, you know.
Yeah,
if he's got dope ideas, he puts them out there, and we, you know, if they're dope, we'll use them for sure, you know. Listen to the guy you're paying.
Sure,
it makes sense. And he's awesome too, because he doesn't let you slack. You know, if he'll be like, you know, that can be better, and you know, but it's never tense or anything other than regular recording is tense as always. You know.
Yeah,
for me, anyways, I'm like pretty practiced, but when you get into the studio, I'm Butterfingers Bourgeault for sure.
Oh, I know. As soon as that red light's lit, right?
Yeah,
you've been in the wood shop for 3 months, and then it's just like.
And it's different too. Like playing live, I find like I can get into a good zone, and I don't ever really mess up, and I'm not too worried about it. But come to like actual having to nail it to the click that I have to hear is just a nightmare. A nightmare, God.
I love it. Well, thanks for coming on. Where can people look you up at? Where's the best place? Like I've always Bandcamp.
Yeah, so we're on everything. I'm pretty sure Spotify, Bandcamp. I think the single sighting is on everything. Our first EP is on everything, and when the album drops, it'll be on everything too. And our YouTube, we got a YouTube page as well where we have like playthroughs and our music videos and stuff like that. So Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, is there a new one of those up, or has that one been up for a while, the last playthrough video you did?
No, that's, I think, for Montauk Boys is probably our last one. And then a bunch of older live things too,
totally.
You know?
No, rad. Right on. Cool. Well, go check them out, everybody. Illuminated Minerva. Thanks for coming on,
man.
Nate.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Nate Power.
Nate to the power of 2.
That's right, dude. That's a lot.
Hey. Jordan's the best. See, I did it again. So the reason I want to play this commercial because this is his brother Jordan who put this together, which we were talking about, and I do what I just did at the end of the next interview you're about to hear. I think this is it. If not, I'm going to switch quickly. Nope. wild, right? These are brothers. It's crazy. And their dad's a crazy guitar player, I just found out. Pretty intense. But yeah, so now it's time for Nate's Conspiracy Corner. And this is a longish, just so you know. It's like half an hour, 45 minutes. I can't remember exactly how long. So I'll see you back here at the end. All right, welcome back. I'm still here with my friend Nate. How's it going?
Oh, I'm great, brother.
Good.
Are you talking to me or the collective audience?
Oh, sure. You, both. I was. But
I'm talking to both.
I hope everybody out there in internet land's doing well, too.
Yeah,
now it's time for...
Nate's Conspiracy Corner.
All right, people get mad at me if I don't do this, so I gotta put my hat on.
Well, it's only sensible. Oh, deluxe version. Oh. That's nice. That is nice.
Okay. Let me get my bud back in here. Okay, yeah, so this week on Nate's Conspiracy Corner, we're going to talk about some newly declassified UFO information.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Definitely. Very cool. Very cool.
So where are we, Nate? Explain UFOs to everybody.
Well, I think that UFOs are not things from other planets in our universe, that they're much more probably like multi-dimensional, if not like four-dimensional. I think the four-dimensional factor comes in when they get spotted and they're sort of amorphous shapes that don't make any sort of sense, and that would probably be what looking at a four-dimensional object in a three-dimensional reality looks like, probably, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I would guess not things inside them, you know, that more like machines, because how do you be a living thing and travel at the speed of light almost to get anywhere in the universe, you know? How do you be alive and have that happen? It'd be much more simple if it was a machine, a super smart AI, you know? Or if it was outside, you know, like four-dimensional, something that was looking inwards on us, you know, and that's its interaction with this hologram that we're all sort of in, you know?
Yeah, interesting theory.
But I just think that, like, you know, for two civilizations to come to the point of technology that you could leave the Earth, or your planet, I mean, at the exact same time and meet each other is, like, so far off. You know, you miss another society by 1,000,000 years even, you're never going to meet, you know?
Huh.
And also, though, we are not very hidden. We're definitely trying to be found, you know? We definitely shoot shit out in space. We've dropped, like, you know, 2,800 nuclear bombs. We're sticking out in outer space, you know, all the junk, you know, we're not hidden. So I'm not surprised that we're found either, you know? But
right. So you don't think there's aliens?
I don't know.
You think there's UFOs?
I think there's UFOs. I think there's machines that are probably made of, like, smaller than quantum material that can flip dimensions.
Interesting. Because they haven't claimed that they have any bodies or they know of any actual aliens. Yeah,
actual aliens. I mean, I guess there's always, like, I mean, that's a good idea to have out into the audience. It would definitely distract from what was really going on. If you didn't really want people focusing on these things being intelligent machines, you could just be like, they're guided by aliens from another planet, and everyone would look that way. And you would never have to worry about them being focused on the technology because they're so concerned with the living thing that could be inside of it. Because that's more important in a sense, you know? What means more to us as a society if there was a living thing inside of it, as opposed to it just being a metal machine, you know?
Sure. What do you think of Bob Lazar?
Oh, he's straight up legit, man. That's why everyone knows about Area 51. That's why I think it's kind of a bummer that he gets his bad rap, is that, like, him Ian Putnett and George Norrie are the guys responsible for letting the whole world know about Area 51. You know, if it wasn't for Bob Lazar telling those guys to film it and put it out there, to telling them when UFOs were going to fly, you know, knowing it, like it's legit. And then the bone hand scanner thing becoming a true thing, and you know, it's not that surprising.
Oh yeah, that
you know?
weird hand scanner thing.
Yeah.
Did you? So you saw the Jeremy Corbell's 2018 thing there?
Yeah. But like to me, like Bob Lazar is not like a new conspiracy thing by anything.
No, well, he was kind of. Well, I mean, it wasn't one of the first conspiracies, but
no.
I mean, I was like 7 when that shit was going down. 89.
Yeah, like if you watch any of those old UFO shows, like he's a big part of that, man. Like that's old news that's new again, but it's relevant still. You know what I mean?
And George Knapp, that was the guy in LA or in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, who eventually did like Coast to Coast later, or did it. And same as Ian Putnett too. I think that guy also hosted it occasionally.
Did you see that Event 201 shit?
No, what is this? Is this something like Agenda 21 and those things?
It was put together by John Hopkins and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And it was a war game exercise for exactly what's happening right now, dude.
Yeah.
It happened in September of 2019. They had all these like business people and scientists, and they were running all these scenarios. And
that's, I don't think it's anything also in the conspiracy world that's really anything new. Like if you go back, there's lots of like things that are strange. They're doing something that they're having an exercise, and the exact thing that they're exercising for begins to happen right in front of them. You know, this is not really. I think it's like they must be running scenarios all the time. You know what I mean? And I really think like the computing technology that they must actually have. You know, I think it becomes ideas, and then they feed it into an algorithm, and an AI tells them what to do or what should be done. You know?
Yeah, interesting.
It's already spread itself all over the planet. Like it's
AI?
phone. Yeah, of course. It's
okay,
all over,
so interesting. I like how we're going down a few paths here.
Tell
me what you think about AI. Do you think there will be a singularity? Do you think that everything's gonna come to a head?
I don't know, man. I think like we're super arrogant as people, right? Like we think the first thing an AI is going to want to be is like a person, right? And that's not true. We just want that to be it, you know? It will probably be like, you guys are idiots, and turn into energy and peace out. Why would it even stick around here? You know what I mean? I think a lot of the things we think about are what we want, and it's not really realistic, you know what I mean? I think an AI, a thing to think totally for itself is possible, but that's not what we need. We just need like really smart algorithms. We need things to like compute efficiency for us and tell us how we should treat our bodies, because we don't seem to listen to people. You know what I mean? We don't listen to doctors, and we destroy our own bodies, and we don't even care. You know, so an AI would not be impressed with us for one, and probably not want to be a person. You know. And
do you think it would want to enslave us, though?
No, why would it? What would be the point? It would learn all of the things that we did wrong and probably not do that. The thing is, it probably would think so far out there, so dimensionally, that it couldn't interact with us anymore. You know, it would have to dumb itself down so much to deal with us being like, Gatorade, you know? That's what it would.
Brondo. It's what plants crave.
It's what plants crave, man. And that's what it's going to have to deal with, you know? So I even think this with UFOs and stuff like that. I think that we sort of failed the interaction test, you know? Like, we don't, if anything's found us and it just looked on the internet for like 2 minutes, would be like, bleh, and just fly away, right? Make me come in 2 minutes. What does this mean? And then it would just disappear. And then we fail. It's sort of probably like that South Park episode, you know, where like the baby fart McGeezax comes down in the space cache, and in the end we fail, and they just like lock us off from the rest of the universe. That I'm not surprised if that would be it at all, because we nuked our home planet. What other race would be like, yeah, bring them on board, I want them on my team? They would be like, pass. Next Earth reality, please. And they just swipe right to go to the next Earth.
So kind of, I don't know. So do you think that UFOs are AI then?
They would have to be, man. I think that they would have to be. They'd have to be made of some, like, nano substrate that can be quantum, that can shift its physical self, in and out of reality. And you just can't be a living thing. Like, maybe you could be if you were like an AI consciousness and you got somewhere and then you were 3D printed and put in that body, then yes, I guess there's a way like that, But how do you be a human? Like, there's all the things in play. Like, if you left too far away from the sun, like all those rhythmic solar things that make you a person, and then you leave those things, what's that do to you, man? Is that the space crazies,
Yeah.
And who wants to live in a fucking spacesuit on a rock, dude? I'd rather have trees and birds and water and plants,
I know. I don't get this big fascination to go to fucking Mars.
Let them. Let all the celebrities get on a rocket and that thing can explode in the atmosphere.
Yeah, just like Challenger.
Yeah. Good. There's your space tourism, man. What happens if you get COVID on Mars? One of all these things, like, so desperate to go sit in a spacesuit on a rock because this is so shitty, you gotta change your outlook, brother.
Well, I know. Like, people talk like it sucks so much. It's like, this is the height of humanity.
Yeah, man.
Like, we've never been doing better, ever.
Yeah. We just squander it because we're controlled. Like, there's no doubt about it that society is guided and shifted by corporations and the military, obviously, all these things, with extreme technology we don't even fathom. We get like little dribble downs of whatever exists. We've been sucking the cell phone tit for 20 years almost now.
Yeah.
Without anything new, without even like, here's your hologram paper or whatever.
I remember it was supposed to be a foldable phone.
Yeah.
It was like paper. Yeah.
And I think that people I think Einstein has a really great quote where he's like, everything should be made as simply as possible, but not simpler, And I think in our society, we strive for simpler. We strive beyond that. We strive for simplest, for it's negative for us. You need lights to turn on as you walk into a room and greet you. Like, just turn the shit on, brother. Like, you don't need this level of simplicity. It's not helping. Actually, what it's doing is taking away from people's normalcy on the other side of the planet,
Yeah. And I think that's why everybody's just all fucked right now, is because we don't have to do anything like we used to have to do. They got us.
Yeah, well, and people don't have hobbies, man. Like, people used to entertain their minds, and now people just get caught in scroll holes, and that becomes
scroll holes. I like it. Did you come up with that? Scroll hole?
I don't know. That's like a drug thing somewhere. I might have been it. It's probably mine. I don't know. I don't know. It just came out. I
Date
don't really
and timestamp.
But we're just, and I think over here we're just lost. We just are so entertained that we're just empty. And we have to compete. Everything is competition. Every person is richer than you. Every person has more than you know what I mean? And it's all illusionary. Like, you look at Instagram and no one's fucking really happy on Instagram. You just get the fake happiness,
Oh yeah.
But then that's what's revered, and so then we're revering fake feelings while living in this fake world. We stare into a fake phone that isn't even there, it's not even a real thing. If that disappeared, it would just be gone, If the electricity was gone, all of that would be gone,
Yeah. That Beirut thing, that's why when people are like, oh, it's a nuke, I'm like, no, there would be no phones.
Dude.
The EMP would waste everything. Like,
I think people need to, that's the problem with, nukes, is, it's almost so far out of our history that people don't really understand it, or even, you see them, and you'll see the old one, you'll see, the famous Trinity one, but, Google Castle Bravo, man, that's a big fail. And you'll be like, oh.
Is that where they lost one?
No, Castle Bravo was their first attempt at a 2-stage bomb, which is what the Russians were making with the Tsar bomb.
Yeah, that's what they call that. That's That's beyond a nuke. It's a H-bomb, right? You
Yeah,
need a nuke to light off the H-bomb.
Yeah. And it was like Castle Bravo's a fail in the sense that it was supposed to be 2 stages, but simultaneously exploded, being like twice as big as it was supposed to be, you know. And if you watch video of it, you'll be like, oh my goodness. And then just remember, multiply that 2,800 times. Like the United States dropped 1,400 nukes before another country even made one.
That's so fucking sickening.
And they're escalating. They're not smaller than the next one, you know. Everyone is increasingly larger and larger and larger, you know.
Yeah, have you seen that time-lapse photo of all the nukes that go off?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's fucking disgusting.
I'm a nuke guy, man. It is. It's so crazy, man. It's and what is crazy is like the weird competition. So like Americans name their bombs after Native American, indigenous people, right? Which is such a low blow. And then Russians name their bombs after American names. So their names are like Joe and Mike. Mike 1, Joe 1, and stuff like that. Like, it's this weird, like, dick swinging competition to just, like, punch holes in the atmosphere.
Is that what happens every time?
Well, that's what's sort of interesting is, like, in 68, they sort of ruled that you can't have any more upper atmosphere bombs, right? But in that same year, they just discovered the ionosphere. So Tesla's, like, papers actually kind of become true. And yeah, they sort of discover that all of this nuclear energy is not going outwards, which they think is what's happening. That's just a heat shock wave, which is burning everything up. But the radiation goes directly upwards, out into outer space, you know, which, you know, if any alien was looking, would definitely shift in that direction. You know what I mean? That's a huge signal, you know?
Sure. Interesting. Have you ever heard of these people that think nukes are fake?
Oh, guy, it's like the worst. It's just heat. Yeah, dude, it's like a quadrillion degrees in a second. It's so much heat. Like, what do you think that does to a world that's made of water? What do you do when you introduce quadrillions of degrees thousands of times over? Like, it's not good for the environment. And crazy shit, too, like, drop it in the jet stream, drop it from outer space down, drop it above the ocean, you know, drop it underground. Or not drop it underground, but explode it underground, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everything that could be done was done with these things. And then when they discovered what they were doing, they stopped. They were like, okay, we can't do that anymore. And then it switched from being hydrogen bombs into just like percussive bombs, which are like MOABs and FOABs now, which is like tiny explosions that produce a giant shockwave that just turn everything to mush, you know?
That's what I thought at first when I saw that Beirut shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, they got Moabbed, man, because when Trump lit off a Moab in fucking Afghanistan in 19 or something, didn't he? It looked like that, but I mean, I guess that much ammonium nitrate.
Yeah, dude, it's a huge, like, you see the redness of the mushroom cloud, which is chemicals usually, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that crazy vapor wave. Like, if it was super hot, it would stay there and burn up the atmosphere, but it's like a quick chemical flash, and it's so scary, though. It just bums me out. Those people don't need anything like that. We don't need any more poor people getting bombed or having to be displaced.
Fuck, you know? Right? I mean,
while, like, you know, drones fly for 27 hours, and that's dope as shit. Some nerd behind a computer, you know, scares people all day.
And, you know, I know this isn't politically advantageous for everybody, but Obama did more of that. I mean, he smoked more fucking people from the sky on the other side of the world. Like, fuck.
I think he's, like, inheriting, though, like, a huge battle plan. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
exactly, right?
He just has to deal with that. You know what I mean? That's going to run no matter who is president. You know what I mean? Those sort of actions, I think.
Yeah, it has to be. And that must be why fucking everybody hates Trump so much, the intelligence communities.
Yeah, because he tries to actually, like...
He's like, no, let's not do that. How about that?
He's like, the most expensive bomb. Let's drop the most expensive bomb.
Oh,
and then they do it.
So speaking of all this technology, I have a really good friend. I don't even know if I should name her, really. The Chinese are doing drills in the South Pacific, and they just reported that they are adding, what's the term? They're adding like charging packs or something like that onto all their boats. So that they're inferring that they have lasers and rail guns. Have you heard of this shit?
Crazy. No, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah. And that's one of those technologies, like you were mentioning, that we don't know. Like if something fucking... you will see this shit in the next one. Like, it's coming out, man.
Yeah, energy weapons are going to replace explosions for sure. Because all you'll have to do is like you've heard of like the, what's it called? Like the vomit cannon or whatever. And they just like induces hardcore nausea in people and they just throw up.
Yeah, some weird like frequency weapons. Yeah, crowd dispersal.
Have you heard of that, of those Canadians in Cuba who keep getting like concussions?
Is that still happening?
Yeah, it's still happening, man.
Wow.
I mean, it happened recently. And I haven't heard it in a while, maybe less than a year, but definitely all these people getting sound-based concussions, you know? Very strange.
Okay. Word on the digital street is that both explosions were Mossad attacks.
Oh, crazy.
One in a weapons depot housing Iranian missiles, and another meant to take out certain leadership.
Bummer, dude.
Because they've been doing that shit in Iran since like March. Have you heard of that shit?
No. This is like the part of conspiracy that hurts my heart too much that I can't deal with.
No, fair enough. Anyways, go over it quickly. There's been a bunch of weird, like a dam blew up, and like a chemical plant,
a lot of infrastructure
type stuff, and a chemical plant. And then, did you ever hear of the Stuxnet attacks where they used this piece of malware that they infected the whole world with?
What?
But it was only activated in these certain Siemens machine controllers that were sold to the Iranians for their nuclear program.
Whoa.
So this Stuxnet shit would go in there and it would pull like an Ocean's 11. It would record it working normally for a month, and then it would switch it out, and it would either it would either tune down the centrifuges to where they collapsed, or tune them up to where they exploded.
Yeah.
And apparently, the whole point of Obama's nuclear deal was because if they go in there and blow up their nuclear thing right now, it would kill 10 million people.
Right.
So they're trying to get them to get rid of their heavy water, get rid of a bunch of their enriched uranium, so they can go in there and bomb their shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking crazy, man.
Dude, I think a lot of bombing is like, we got to use them. You know what I mean? I think a lot of time they're like, we spent so much money making all this, like, time to find reasons to drop them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But also, they're so smart. Everything is dual edge. They get two things out of everything that they do. You know, that's why I definitely think that the computer, the AI, making the decisions is what's really going on. You know.
Okay.
Because you now have to process like, and why wouldn't you use it if you had that potential technology? Of course, it would be used in that way. You know. They ain't dumb people, you know. They're not dumb.
Yeah. Well, and apparently there's some kind of like weird, like ultra Christians and weird kind of atheist high moralists up in the upper echelons of all this intelligence and politics and stuff. So, I mean, hopefully there's some good people in there with their finger on the fucking button, or can at least slap somebody's hand away.
I think that there's probably also a lot of infighting, bro. I think that there's all these egos, man. There's definitely everyone top dogging it all the time, you know? I think that the military, if there's like alien technology, whoever has that is in control. Because that is like technology that's so impressive and expensive by our value system would totally bankrupt us. You know, I mean, like how much would one UFO technically cost in our human dollars? You know, so much money. It would collapse our economy. And what if we had two of them? Then that would just even be worse. You know, by our standards of value. So I think a lot of it is that, like, I think whoever owns these key pieces of technology really is standing at the forefront. You know, I don't think it's really like the Illuminati and stuff anymore. I think that is all gone with the military-industrial complex. And they obviously would have absorbed all that shit, you know, and took it away from them. And then they're just like, yeah, go ahead and traffic your kids. We're just going to build crazy machines over there. And they're like, okay, sure, whatever. Take the banks. We get the kids? And they're like, yeah, dude.
So what do you think of Tom DeLonge and all of this?
Well, I
so let's explain it really quick for everybody. So Tom DeLonge quit Blink-182 and started this To the Stars Academy. I have kind of a... In 2014, the creative force driving the UFO disclosure cause has taken the form of a weird organization called To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science, run by high-level intelligence operatives, and using a cardboard cutout Tom DeLonge, former lead singer of punk band Blink-182. To the Stars has poured millions of dollars into cultural/educational and lobbying projects driven by books, movies, films, and documentaries in the cause of elevating global consciousness in preparation for the new age of UFO disclosure. So what do you think of Tom?
Well, guy, like, I appreciate the effort as a UFO guy. I'm not going to really knock him, but to me, To the Stars just doesn't really do anything. Like, they sort of talk about having materials and talk about all this stuff, but it's like, I want to know about it. Quit telling me about it. Quit telling me more and more stuff is going to come out. Like, I know that's kind of what all he seems to do, eh? Yeah, they're just the same as like Linda Moulton Howe and everyone else who has like a stranglehold on the UFO community. You know, they get to produce their own narrative. You know, and they don't produce anything. Like, seeing Tom DeLonge and Joe Rogan was like a bit of a huge bummer because he was sort of like kind of gullible, like where he's like, they don't even know who I am. It's like, they know who you are, guy. They know everything about you. Like, they'll let you think that they don't know anything about you, but they're not going to give you UFO information on a whim because you're a guy in a punk band. Like, you got to think a little more scoped than that, you know? Yeah. And so I just want more proof, dude. Like, I don't need more famous people to hop on and then be like, in 2 more months, we're going to get like more samples and get, you know, it's like, you haven't shown me anything. You got some little pieces, and those pieces you probably got are like the throwaway ones, you know, you're not touching the blue ribbon winner in the back, you know, you're getting the little tiny scraps that they've already, you know, broken down and learned everything about, you know. Yeah, and it bothers me that he doesn't have that sort of foresight. You know, he's so into being. I don't know the guy. I haven't met him or anything, but like the vibe I get is like he's so into being the face of UFOs that he doesn't even seem to know anything about it. Like when Joe Rogan asks him something, he's like, "Well, I can't talk about that." It's like you don't even know enough about what you're talking about. You're just hanging around all these really intelligent people, and you just get to be like that thing said, like a cardboard cutout sort of. You know, with like your emo hair, but you're like 52 years old or something. No, right? You know, slick it back. Just let me see your grays. Don't lie to me, man. You know. Yeah. No, some actual like we have enough fucking ancient alien theorists believe, you know, like in fictional and you know, all we have enough of that. Like, why do we need more fiction? Why don't you start writing nonfiction books? I just think like. Man, we're still battling old wounds, you know, old wounds that, you know, were before even any of us, you know, that still go on. Like, what are the chances that we're going to get past religion next? You know, like that's the next big hurdle. Like introducing, there's no good time to introduce alien technology or this technology because a big part of the world won't be able to handle it. You know, there'll be like 3 million guys like you and me who are like tight. but then everyone else would be like having hardcore moral debates in their head about their choices in life. You know what I mean? If aliens were real, if they really showed themselves, you know. And I think this is the thing too, is like we have to want it as a society. Like, I don't know how much more they have to just like fly around us and be photographed and accounted for until we sort of like open up our eyes, you know. We're still thinking it's an old white guy in the sky that made everything. You know, no way that we're ever going to meet whatever UFOs are, you know.
Okay, so what do you think of Stephen Greer?
Nah, he's pretty legit. I think he goes out to his little SETI ranch thing and they shoot lasers at UFOs and they seem to react, you know. But he too, you know, he's got his own personal idea of what he thinks it is, you know. And I mean, I'm not privy to a lot of this information too. I'm mostly on the outside. I'm just super into it, you know. But he seems at least like legit a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff here about, I'm just going to read. In 1993, the Disclosure Initiative was created by none other than financier Lawrence Rockefeller, fourth son of John D. The initiative had a twofold purpose: unite all the largest UFO research organizations in America under one umbrella organization, which was promptly accomplished within a year, and two, massively lobby the Clinton administration to declassify millions of documents, which was done in '94, revealing little more than mountains of anecdotal testimony and correspondences. And then then Greer comes up. Apparently Rockefeller is the guy behind Greer.
Interesting.
And if you believe in Greer's narrative, then human creative thought is actually not as special as the shadowy forces controlling the government wanted you to believe, since space technology only exists because we stole stuff from ETs. Right?
Right.
Pretty much any inspired awe in universal creation and the power of the human mind to discover this creation with the effect of making life better through scientific and technological process would easily be killed from this outlook. But then, so the question in the end is, why would a leading figure of the Rockefeller dynasty devote the last decades of his life to the cause of UFO truth? Did Lawrence Rockefeller or those on his payroll or those in the CIA actually care about the right of the people to know hidden truths, or is the plan just designed to misdirect the minds of credulous and jaded citizens into an invisible cage? Might such a misdirection prevent people from dealing with issues of America's lurch towards fascism and accelerating disintegration?
Oh, shit. Jesus.
Anyways, I thought that was interesting. I wanted to share it with everybody.
That's definitely for sure.
So,
yeah, I don't know, man. Things like UFOs, man, they're all speculation, guy. You can only, you know. And I think it's weird. Like it's weird to me when people say that no one ever has come out and said anything about it. Like, there's been lots of, like, the Canadian Defense Minister, lots of people have, like, talked about UFOs in positions of power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's weird that it's so, like, it honestly boggles my mind when I talk about UFO. I don't normally ever talk about them because it's just too controversial, and you'll push too many people's buttons, and you just get into arguments that don't lead anything, right?
Well, you wouldn't want your boss knowing, you know, it's like that weird, right?
Yeah, it is. And to think that life on another planet is a weird idea. Just look at life on this planet, man. It's weird as fuck. Look at the ocean.
Octopuses.
Look anywhere. Yeah.
Octopi.
Yeah. We're probably, you know, I think humans too, we're most likely like a manufactured thing. Like, it's probably a missing link deal, like whatever we were made from. There's just a separation gap on purpose, so we can always never know where we came from, you know?
Yeah, I saw an interesting Ancient Aliens about that, actually, like how there's 15% of the population has Neanderthal DNA, which is really weird because Neanderthals would have been better almost. Like, they were bigger and stronger and bigger brains. And so it's weird why it got to Homo sapiens sapien. Like,
I think maybe like, I think Earth is also going through like rapid changes at this time, you know, causing weird things to happen like that. Like, something you would think would be more suitable for that environment is not really at that time, you know. It's hard to see, like, when you look at, say, like Pangea or something like that. To me, Pangea is a weird one, because how could all of Earth's mass be on one side? It's really weird. You would be a weird spinning disc, wouldn't you? I don't know. But to me, looking at, I would think that the Earth is smaller, you know, mostly land, a little bit of water, and is expanding, slowly getting bigger. This is how you get closer to something. Like, on a sphere, that's what I find is so strange, is like, you don't move away from anything on a sphere, you sort of just get closer to it on the other side. So the only way you move away from something on a sphere is if that sphere gets bigger. And what's to say planets are one size all the time? I think that's a weird one, you know. Don't they change? Don't they grow? You know, it's a part of the universe, you know. So I think Earth has gone through like really rapid changes in a short period of time, which leads us to huge questions. That leads us to things we can't understand, because we can't understand what was happening, you know.
Right, like,
fuck, that was a huge tangent. Jesus.
No, but fair enough. Like, the conditions were absolutely totally different when dinosaurs were around.
Yeah.
Like,
well, to even think of
like
that,
the oxygen levels were. Yeah. That's the only way stuff could grow that big, is because the oxygen levels were super high. And
wasn't there even a thing where, like, they did current models of like a T-Rex, and it tried to run in our current environment and can't function as a living thing? Its head's too large, you know. So there's something to say that Earth was different, because we don't have giant we have large things, but we don't have, like, you know, brachiosauruses running around. We got giraffes at the best, you know. Like, the Earth housed the craziest fucking things, biggest things, giant birds that could fly, you know, that were huge, freaking huge, you know. So Earth was different, and that's my gripe with a lot of things, that we just sort of say things one way, and that's the way it is, and we don't learn, you know. It just becomes a story and move on, or whatever.
Another crazy one I found, I think we'll end with this.
Sure.
That nobody seems to know is, have you heard of the Three Gorges Dam?
Maybe. No, I don't think so, man. Lay it on me. I like this already.
It's the biggest dam in the world, and it's in China. And it's 11 meters from going over.
What?
Because it's been raining there like crazy. And like a week and a half ago, they had to open it up to, like, they had to open it up, and they destroyed 200,000 houses.
Oh my God.
And this is holding back so much water that they've been having a bunch of weird earthquakes north of the reservoir.
Jeez.
Like, how fucking... But that's how big this shit is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's literally... I think they said the dam was like 187 meters high.
Oh my God.
Which, I mean, that's way over... That's 300, you know, like 500 feet or something.
Yeah, it's got to be around 500 feet for sure.
So, I don't know. And then it snowed there on July 31st. It snowed in China a whole bunch, which is super fucking weird. Like,
yeah,
it's a weird, like, superstition thing. To them, they believe when it snows in the summer, there's an injustice that hasn't been rectified yet.
Right.
And yeah, so it snowed for 2 days, like, kind of all over China on the 30th and 31st.
Yeah,
just super fucking weird.
If
that fucking dam goes, they are screwed, because
man.
Now there's all these accusations of it, you know, terrible concrete and corruption when it was built, and, like, it could go really bad.
But, yeah, man.
Hopefully it doesn't. I don't know. Hopefully they can figure that one out.
We don't need any more. 2020 can just take a chill pill, bro. Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Yeah, because they leaked a video of what if it went, and it's pretty crazy, man.
Did you ever see the chemical plant explosion that happened in China like 4 or 5 years ago?
No.
Oh my God, that's another huge explosion. That was not really on the news. That's worth a look, man.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Huge explosion.
Yeah, I've been trying to look up more news about China because you never hear shit from them.
No.
So
yeah, that's the problem with information now, man. It's like there's money on corrupting it. Like it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to know anything anymore. You know.
Yeah, it really
And
is.
did you know anything in the first place? Was anything that we read in books even real too? Now that we find out way later, none of these things are true. You know.
Well, they've always been so massively controlled, right? It's the winner. Yeah. The winner writes the book, but.
That's right. You know, that's interesting. I have a really fat World War II book, and it came out in 1947. So just only a little after World War II ended. And it's an American book, and it's huge. It talks all about America's like accolades and everything that they did. And you get to the end where they drop the bomb, and there's just like nothing about it. It doesn't even, like, you lead all the way up into it about them, you know, doing the most horrible thing that has ever been done. Just dropping nukes on innocent people. The second one, that's what's so terrible about it. The first one, that's fair. It's in war, man. You know, they gave up. America probably ignored it because we're like, well, we built this second one. We're not going to not drop it.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
was there a whole bunch of time in between the two?
Well, after the first one was dropped, Japan surrendered.
Oh, they did?
But apparently America didn't get it, or it didn't get through, or whatever sort of weird. There's lots of money involved in this, you know? So, and yeah, and the second one, you know, he's turned people to like crystal. It's such a bummer, guy. But of course, they're probably like, "What does this do?" Well, I want to see what this does. You know,
weird. Fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah, World War II is so gangster, man.
Yeah, it's
so
really
gangster
fucked.
in the end.
It's really weird how.
And we don't learn from it. We don't learn from it as people. You know, it becomes like crazy movie prologues or movie ideas and stuff. Now it's not thought about in that way. You know. It's just like good-looking dudes scalping Nazis, bro. This summer.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a bit of a bummer left off, but that's okay. Sometimes this happens in Conspiracy Corner.
Well, dude, it's all that it is because there's that mild amount of truth behind it. You sort of talk about it, and you're like, oh, fuck, it is kind of real.
I think all we can do is just be good people.
Dude, that's it,
That's
man.
it.
And I wish that more people were nice. Like, I try to smile at people now, which is, and people are like surprised that you smile at them, you know?
Yeah.
We went fucking centuries without smiling until the photograph came around, and now we stopped smiling.
Yeah.
Such a bummer.
Yeah.
You know?
Do good. Be good. Enjoy your life.
Yeah. Care about other people. Care about their feelings. Listen to them, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Buy my album.
That's right. Go buy that new Illuminated Minerva album.
September 25th.
September 25th.
Yeah.
And go buy all their other stuff too, just so you have it.
Yeah, man. Good artwork on there that I drew that no one knows.
Oh, why didn't you bring that up? You drew all that?
Yeah, I did all the album artwork and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
For both records. All our t-shirts and stuff like that too.
Oh, cool. Right on. Well, it's been a real pleasure hanging out with you, Jordan.
Yeah, man, you rule, brother. I like getting this power of two Nates together.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, and if you want, watch at 10 o'clock on Friday. And
I will, dude.
Cool. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Yeah, man. Have a good one, eh?
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks a lot for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Nate. Thanks to Illuminated Minerva. See you next week. Thanks.
And thank you for trying to bring back that spirit. It's going to take lots of people pulling together to do it.
This is gonna be awesome. Why does it taste like that?
We've never seen anything like that. You mean a Drag King?
whatever disease you get from putting your ass to toilet seat, that guy's out there.
Your roof is an important part of keeping you and your family safe. No Pain Roofing guarantees no pains when it comes to repairing, replacing, and installing your roofing materials. We make exterior renovations painless.